I'm really excited to be the default headliner tonight. Thanks, Richard. Pumped to be able to do it in front of such a large audience. As an aside, I just want to say Violette and I share something in common. I too am an aristocrat. But actually, my husband bought a title because y'all were killed during the Revolution. So in front of you, you have the Marquise de Bourbon. I'm not even joking. My husband called me a couple of years ago. This is totally unscripted here, but he called me a couple of years ago. He's like, I've got a surprise for you. I'm like, okay, great. And he's like, I bought us a title. And I was like, all right, great. So he's the Marquis and I'm the Marquise de Bourbon. So just if you're ever curious, for like €30, you can buy the title of a dead French person. You really care? Yeah. My name's Kevin. Most of you know me, some of you don't. Lucky you. My dream was to stand in front of a bunch of losers telling jokes, so we're here. Oh, I count myself among us, you know. I'm American, as you can probably tell, which frankly seems to be becoming more of a liability day by day. N'est-ce pas? But you know, I love America. It's America the beautiful, right? Like, land of the free, home of the brave, where the buffaloes roam and the antelope are gay. You know, we do our thing. At least that's what it was until fucking Tragedy Ann and Apartheid Andy took over the reins of government. And now we're just all hoping that those buffalo, instead of roaming, just trample down the White House and, you know, maybe with Elon throwing one of his 32 children at the buffalo as they go by. That didn't land the way I wanted it to. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But can we spend a minute with that visual, right? Like we've got Trump running away from the White House with his like terrible orange comb over, like waving in the wind behind. And I'm alone with that. And there we go. Ooh, I just completely fucking fucked that up. Sorry. But all the while, you know, I think the person we forget to talk about sometimes is Melania. And like, this woman didn't want to be first lady, right? So all this is happening, my like fantasy of Trump being run out of the White House with Apartheid Andy, with Melania sitting back and being like, thank fucking God he's gone. I'm tired of this man. And she looks in the mirror and she says to herself, don't get mad, get everything. Nobody's old enough for that reference. All right, I'm also 42. America. Switching gears here to traveling. You know, anyone love to travel? We all love to travel, right? Yeah, right? We love to travel. I love like getting my suitcase together, putting my socks in my shoes to save on space, getting the RER, you know, heading to the terminal. And then I get to the airport, and remember I'm poor. And so I travel in steerage. And so I don't get to do the like, you know, priority checkout lane. But you know, you pray that your suitcase is under the 23 kilos so you don't have to pay an extra €50, which is why you're taking Ryanair in the first place. N'est-ce pas? But I think security is the great equalizer, right? Like everybody gets to security, or you know, everyone we're good to go. But then you get to the gate, and then like it puts you back in your place, right? Because then when boarding starts, and this is what kills me, boarding starts, and they're like, first class, people with children, handicapped people, military people. Yeah, I'm just gonna end with this. And then everybody, you get on the plane, you know, by the time you get to, you're like row fucking 73F, you know, without the window. And then, you know, you get on the plane and you sit down and you look at the sheet and you're like, fuck, it's a Boeing. God damn. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.